was painted the Amalfi Coast with my favourite that cruise ship,
and that is my favourite pizza. Pizza, it was perfect. You liked it? It was bellissimo. Day one on board Celebrity Ascent, so we arrive at the airport, head up on the plane, and then during the flight we actually see the ship from the skyline. All year, a whole painting and a whole t-shirt, we are stepping on board. And where'd you go first on a cruise ship? Of course it is the buffet, and this is a video of Mum struggling to get some fried chicken on her plate. But this was what I had, and then it was time to explore the ship, including the sunset bar, of course the gym. And then we decided to do a prize draw as to which restaurant we would be in that evening. Cosmopolitan. It was a quick drink at Eden first, and then it was time for dinner. This was the absolute highlight, the chicken chiquita. After dinner, it was time for a quick show, and then off to bed for day two. It is day number 2 on board Celebrity Ascent, and there's only one place I am going on the first full day, and that is to the gym, but via the buffet because I like to have a look. The gym session was great, and then we went to the main dining room for breakfast. I asked for extra smoked salmon, but bleeding hell, they gave me a lot. Didn't stop me from polishing the lot off though. It was then a walk around the deck via the sunset bar. That's actually Sicily on the right. And after a few laps around the ship, it was time for lunch, where Mum and I, we like to try a few little desserts, but Mum doing a mum and failing to actually eat it. It was then time to sit out in the afternoon to a little bit of music, a little bit of dancing, but unfortunately it turned wild as it always does. And then it was chic night, and this was what we had for dinner. I'm going to be honest, it didn't quite hit, so I went to get a little bit more fish, a little bit more protein afterwards before watching this show, which was insane. It was then a trip to the club, and I absolutely love this couple and their dancing. I was going to watch the Champions League semi-final, but then Arsenal took the lead. I got bored, so I started dancing instead. It's day 3. I'm in my sports shorts because it is leg day in the gym, so I thought I'd pair it with my Rangers top. I put the deck chairs out. That's my chore of the day. We wanted to be up by our friend the octopus. Let's head to the gym. The gym was good, and then after that I recovered up with this breakfast before doing some Tai Chi at the rooftop garden. Literally the last thing I needed after leg day, but come on you Rs. Tai Chi was actually really good. There was one thing stopping me relaxing, and that was that I needed a wee. But now we are sailing into Crete, which is our first stop. The theme of the buffet at lunchtime was Greek theme. It was incredible. They had loads of different gyros and all the Greek things you can imagine. This was what I got. It was a bit of skewered lamb in a pitta with tzatziki, spanakopita as well. It was fantastic. Fast forward to the evening and we got these bar snacks. These are insane. I'm in trouble. We watched the bartenders then do some incredible tricks before it was then dinner time, where I had this corn soup. That was great. The chicken was also decent, a little bit of ice cream too. Then it was the show, and this gentleman Stephen from Ireland was so funny and so talented. I had to speak to him after.
On your show, very funny. Until at the end you played a song that my grandparents are going to play at their funeral when they die.
Day 4 on board the Celebrity Ascent. Started off with breakfast as it was a rest day, smoked salmon, herring, fruit, a little bit of cheese, and then we arrived in Kusidasi, so it was a quick wander around before lunchtime, where I had this quinoa salad, some tilapia, and a little bit of salad with tzatziki as well in the sunshine. What a moment this was. And an even better moment was this chocolate tartlet in the afternoon. It made me so happy. So did listening to this music by the pool. And then it was the evening time, down to the martini bar before dinner in Cyprus restaurant. I started off with this oxtail that was so good, so tender. Main courses was a lamb shank, and we shared this General's chicken, which was the chef's special in the middle. That was incredible too. This is one of my favourite desserts on Celebrity Cruises, the apple pie, and it did not disappoint. And then it was off to a show before watching the barmans do some tricks at the martini bar before bed. A day full of food on board the Celebrity Ascent. Day 5 has started off well. I went to the gym. I also had my breakfast, which I tried black pudding for the first time. Wasn't that bad, along with biscuits and gravy. Also pretty decent with my usual stuff. I now have some good news for Mum. She's been waiting all holiday for vanilla soft serve ice cream. They haven't had it. Today they have it, so I'm going to go and tell her. Mum, guess what? They've got vanilla soft serve. Yep. It's not open yet. It's only 10 in the morning. Really funny, when it hits 12 o'clock, Mum has her lunch, and I call that my research hour, because I have little bits of all the things I like the look of in the buffet, and I see what's best so that I have a full portion of that. But it was Italian buffet today. Oh my god, it was insane. They had all the breads, all the burratas, all the risottos. They had this shrimp, like alcohol kind of soup. The desserts looked absolutely insane. Lasagna, all your classics. There's too much to choose from. It's insane. But now we are arriving here in Istanbul, which is stop number 3. and I must say the sailing is absolutely incredible. Done with desserts for the day, are you?
Yeah, but my friend was there.
Oh, your friend was there, so you had to make
Yeah.
sure you got another one just for him, yeah, not for you.
It was me who gave me a huge one.
Oh.
And I gave him mini eggs, and he goes, "Can I give you a hug?" And I said, "Cool."
Then it was time to freeze my you-know-whats off doing aqua aerobics, so it seemed to be all by myself until these lovely ladies joined for it. This was a moment to cherish, a glass of Moscato, my first bit of alcohol in about 3 years at the Sunset Bar in Istanbul. Next on to dinner, it was this cheese and spinach pastry to start, a tilapia fillet in a puttanesca sauce, and then we had a little dessert taste test, my mum and I, and the best for me was the chocolate baklava. Finally, to end the day, it was under the lights, Istanbul, and I had a few laps around the deck, and what a moment that was. Day 6 on board the Celebrity Ascent. Started off with breakfast, bit of smoked salmon, a bagel, plus this claw pastry. That was amazing. Mum's too lazy to walk up the hill, so I'm pulling her up via an umbrella. Once we arrived in the centre of Istanbul, lots of sweet treats, lots of amazing looking sights, and also this cat lying on these blankets. Next up, it was lunchtime back on the ship. I did my usual, tried a little bit of everything, decided what was best, and it was this Thai red curry. Had a bit of papadums and mango chutney with the coconut rice. Oh my god, this was so good. Then it was a dessert taste test, and this one was the best. It was like a syrup-soaked sponge. I saw this on the wall, which you could write on, so I had to put QPR on it. Not far off from our time in Istanbul ending. My hair is a mess because I'm outside in the wind, but I'm doing the last few laps round before dinner this evening. Wish me luck. Mum's pissed. This cruise was all about the food, and tonight I fully committed. I might have had about 3 main courses. To start, I had Mum's really drunk. For starters, I had this cheesy pasta. It was so good. That was meant to be a main course, but I had it for starters. Then I had this seafood plate, which they did especially for me. Scallops, prawns, octopus. Insane, and quite a lot of olive oil too. And I tried a bit of Mum's kebab. I tried a bit of Mum's bolognese. Then they said the chef's special was being chicken tikka masala. Well, if you know me, that's my #1 favourite meal. So I had to get a bit of that in the middle. Plus, I almost finished off the whole basket of bread to myself. And we had bar snacks and nibbles before. Oh, honestly, today was a proper food day. The day wasn't done though, because we still had showtime, and then after that we were sailing away from Istanbul. This was such a beautiful sail out, and there were even some fireworks too in the distance. Day 6 on the Celebrity Ascent started amazingly with coffee cakes and berries, a coffee itself in front of the pool, enjoying it with my mum for breakfast. And then I went to the gym for leg day, did a few laps around the pitch, and then it was British buffet, meaning they had your fish and chips, your butter chicken, your pies, the lot, everything you can think of. I tried to recreate a fillet of fish. It was an absolute disaster. I had some chips and ketchup for the first time in absolute years, and it just hit the spot. Sandwich, as I said, absolute disaster. I haven't really had that, and I haven't even had a proper lunch. So I'm going to go for a run now, which I haven't done in years. I just feel like it, so I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to have a proper lunch, which I'm going to have my quinoa salad, which is so good on this ship. This is one of the reasons I absolutely love cruising. It's the promenade deck, it's low down, you're right on top of the sea, which is calm as anything, and it's just one of those moments which you've really got to take it in. And speaking of taking it in, I thought that was the perfect moment to grab an afternoon scone with my mum with a sea view before enjoying the Sunset Bar in the evening before watching the football, which was before dinner, where I had this braised veal and phyllo pastry to start. That was amazing. The duck was amazing too. A little bit of fruit and a coffee to finish it off before the show to end the day. I cannot believe it's already day 8 on the Celebrity Ascent, and today we are in Santorini. We started off in the gym. It was a beautifully quiet gym because everyone's rushed off the ship, and then it was the buffet for breakfast. I promised myself I'd have a cooked breakfast one day. It did not disappoint, honestly. It was so good. We're now here in the rooftop garden. I'm about to do some stretching, and then we'll crack on with the day. As always, at 12 o'clock I decided what food was my favourite before doing some laps around the deck with a view of Santorini, and then 2 hours later having my actual lunch. That was a lamb burger with the quinoa salad and some salad with a view. Then it was time to get on the tender and off for Santorini. I absolutely love a tender ride, and then it was up in the cable car before arriving at the top, and there was some stunning views of Santorini. We then found a pizzeria actually in Greek island, but we still had to try one of these donuts. Cheers. Oh my god. That's insane. It was then one last walk around, seeing some more of these stunning sights of Santorini, including plenty of views of the ship. Wish me luck. I'm about to do this long walk down to the bottom to get on this bad boy. Along the way, I saw these donkeys making their way up the steps, and it was such a good walk down, even though I almost slipped 5 times. I'm making good progress, but I've just found out that that boat there is the one that my mum is on back to the ship, but I've still got, well, quite a long way to go. The walk is complete, and we are back on the tender. After the tender, it was time to get ready for dinner, wearing my Santorini socks. And then once we got to the main dining room, look at this view for dinner. That starter was cod croquettes, which are almost like these hot fish balls. And then for main course, I had the cod with quinoa, and I had it with a garlic tomato sauce. That was pretty decent. And then Mum and I always go to the buffet after, so we can have a good selection as to what we want. I would say this was a berry crumble, but it was more of just a crumble because it was a serve yourself, and I kind of just went for all the crumble bit rather than the berries with just a little bit at the bottom. But it hit the spot, and now we're doing some laps around the deck here in Santorini before we sail on off late at night. And that is it for day 8. Welcome to Mykonos on day number 9 now on board the Celebrity Ascent. Let's get started. Started off with a pre-gym breakfast with a view before chest day in the gym before making my way to the rooftop garden for a little bit of Tai Chi. By that point it was lunchtime and it was German day. As ever, after having a look around, I try a little bit of everything, decide what's my favourite, and then I have a full load of it. In the afternoon we got off onto the tender before sailing to Mykonos before having a little stroll around, and then once we got back on the ship, another one of my weird food combinations in prawns, sweet corn and an apple. We then sat in the sunshine with a sparkling water in the late afternoon before dinner time. It was Italian themed dinner time. The tiramisu was a little bit of a letdown. We went upstairs to the crepe, which also didn't quite hit, so I ended up just playing it safe, having some fruit before watching the show in the evening, and that was before this Shine the Night party. And I must say a highlight of it was watching this guy hitting everyone on the head that walked past, including one of the professional singers on board. Day 10 on board Celebrity Ascent starts off with breakfast, a Greek yogurt bowl as well as a babka roll, which I absolutely love to bits. Then it was some laps around the deck before the seafood extravaganza at lunch. That meant every type of roasted meat you could think of in the carvery, a whole bunch of seafood, a whole chocolate fountain with fruit, a cake display too, and this is what I went for. It was salmon teriyaki with some stir-fried veg and a little bit of grilled sea bream as well. That was followed by an apple and some fruit in the sunshine before more decks and more enjoying the sunshine on the final sea day. Then it was this, a moment to cherish my first glass of wine in 3 years.
One of the special dedication to my friend Tyler over there, having his first glass of wine in 3 years.
Cheers, Tyler, to your glass of wine.
Now that I've lost everything.
It really was a moment to remember, and that was followed by dinner where the chefs came round for a massive applause around the restaurant. And what a view this was as well for the evening. You had Sicily and Messina on either side. The breads and the dips have been the death of me during this cruise. We've had the mushroom risotto to start. Mum had the kale salad and this grilled seafood, which I love to bits on cruise ships for mains.
You need when you've had your first glass of alcohol in 3 years and a drunk mum is walking through a room full of mirrors. Drunk Tyler as well. Then there's, yeah, we're in trouble. Let's hope we survive this mirror room.
We did, and our reward was this massive chocolate taste test, a video coming soon before the show. Stephen Barry, again, absolutely incredible. Welcome to the last day on board Celebrity Ascent, and this is what it was all for. Napoli, our final stop, so I can get a Neapolitan t-shirt and relive the image on this painting that was made for me over a year ago. Let's see what the day brings. So we got off the ship for breakfast to go to Cafe Gambrinus, the most famous cafe in Naples. The desserts did look amazing, but there was one problem. We have the goods. We got the true Napoli experience, didn't we, Mum?
They were extreme and they're rude.
They were incredibly rude, but we got it to take away so we could eat it outside so that we could get out of there. But we got the goods, so I'm very excited. Cheers. Oh my. That's insane. What do you think? That is good.
Mum's got a canode. I got one of these.
Cheers.
How do I do it? No, it's good. I absolutely love this place. It's pure chaos. Mum, on the other hand, I don't think you like it. It's not for you. It's too nuts for you, isn't it?
It's a bit bonkers.
It is a bit bonkers, which I think is why I love it. We then found this shop which had loads of hand-painted dishes in it. Mum bought me this for my birthday, which I could make my date flapjacks in. We then explored Naples before having the main event, the pizza. This was the place we went to. This was our table right on the streets. It was a classic Neapolitan experience, plus the pizza, and that was absolutely insane. The pizza, it was perfect. You liked it?
Delicious.
It was
Best pizza.
bellissimo. It was incredible, and I was about to piss it down, so we're making it back to the ship. To complete the full Italian experience, I had tiramisu when we got back on on board, so I just couldn't say no. I do my post-lunch little few laps around the ship. Usually on the last day, this is the time where I get a little bit emotional. I am, because this cruise has been all about the food. It's been so special, it's been incredible. However, I've just found out I'm doing it all again in July, so I'm going to be back in 2 months. So that saves me from getting all emotional this time round, which is great. Some cool news, the chef has just given me a little chef's hat, so that'll get me cooking when I get home. There we go, one last walk along my favourite part of the ship, the promenade deck. And you know, I said I wasn't going to get emotional before. Well, I got a little bit emotional tonight because we said goodbye to some amazing guests, fellow guests that we've met on board, some lovely, lovely people. And it's always very emotional saying goodbye to them. So one last little walk. We're going to go and watch the show later, which is the last production show. I'm sure it's going to be absolutely incredible. And thank you so much for watching these little clips and videos. And if you're watching the YouTube video, which will be out, tylermorris.2, it's going to have all of these day in the lives combined into one long video. And I'm going to be posting every week again from when I get back home. So thank you all and see you later.
This one is a special dedication to my friend Tyler over there, having his first glass of wine in 3 years. 3 years. For you. It's by Cat Stevens. It's called Wild World. Now that I've lost everything to you, you say you want to start something new, and it's breaking my heart you're leaving. Baby, I'm dreaming. If you want to leave, take it here. Hope you find a lot of nice things to do. There've been a lot of nice things to be had.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have
Welcome to
a chocolate taste test. We've got one of each. We've got a chocolate mousse each. We've been promising ourselves to do a proper taste test. This is the moment, and we are both under the influence of alcohol. Alrighty. Brew Rose.
Oh,
cheers. I don't actually know. Mum, you got so much to go through. Damn, this is why you can't be a professional. White chocolate. I love white chocolate. Could you do white chocolate? Cheers. Oh my god. That is amazing. I love white chocolate.
coconut.
Coconut?
Yeah,
Alrighty.
anyone?
Cheers.
Wow.
Actually, I prefer the white chocolate.
No, that is wow.
Actually, oh my god.
What is that?
No idea. Looks good. Cheers. Got a nut in it. Got almond in it. Wow.
That's my least favourite.
That was my least favourite, actually.
Yeah.
The
Ready?
chocolate truffle.
Cheers.
Best one. Best one. Oh my god. Wow. That's you. Cheers.
I'm gonna be sick.
We've only got one more. The almondy one. Cheers. You know what my favourite was?
They're all good.
The chocolate.
I don't like that one.
The chocolate truffle was my. That's good. Oh.
This is good.
Chocolate truffle, then this, then pistachio, then coconut, then that one, then the ruby one was my least favourite. Right, I'm gonna get a bit of the white and a bit of the milk below.
How'd you get a spoon in it?
I don't know. Cheers. Oh, let's see how many of these we end up finishing. Thank you for watching.
Cheers.
Cheers.